Warning. The following fanfic reading is for mature audiences only. It contains mature subjects such as grief, death of loved ones, discrimination, alcoholism, and gore. Viewers' discretion is advised. The Legend of Spike, Discord's Mask, written by Diablo Guapo. Chapter 1, A Terrible Fate. Today was the day. It was still early in the morning, and Spike was heading to Carousel Boutique, his heart racing. He finally worked up the nerve to confess his love for the mare of his dreams, Rarity. Though the dragon thinks his crush is one of the best-kept secrets of Equestria, most ponies already knew. It wasn't like he was discreet about it. He stood at the front door, his palms sweating. Taking a breath, he knocked on the front door of the boutique. This was a formality since the place was open to the public because it was a store. Spike made his way inside and saw the white unicorn with a violet mane. Spike was about to talk, but then he noticed that she was gathering suitcases.
Hey, Rarity. What's up with the bags?
Spike had hoped to be able to have her undivided attention, but she was busy packing for a trip.
Oh, hello, Spike. I'm preparing to go to Canterlot to meet with Count High and Mighty. We met the last time I was in Canterlot. He said he wanted to meet with me again, and now he's invited me to his mansion. Oh, this is too exciting. I can see it now. He's inviting.
As she began to go on about her dreams of courting the Count and her possibility of becoming Countess High and Mighty, Spike's heart sank. He started to doubt whether he should tell her or not. Maybe he should just go home to Golden-Oak's library.
No, I came this far. I can't turn back now.
And we'll have a grand wedding in Canterlot Palace, and
Rarity?
my gown will be...
Rarity.
And my bridesmaids will wear perfect dresses. Yeah!
Rarity!
Yes, Spike?
I have something to tell you.
What is it, Spike?
She said, coming down from her high.
I wanted to tell you that
Oh, Spike, I think that I know what you were going to say.
You do?
Rarity sighed and nodded.
It is pretty obvious, dear.
Spike mentally kicked himself.
I'm flattered. I really am. But you must understand. I'm going to meet some pony in a moment. He seems really interested in me. Besides, you're a few years younger than me. I really think you are nice, but I'm a unicorn and you're a dragon.
Oh, I see.
Oh, darling, I didn't mean that.
No, I get it.
Spike said as he headed to the door.
You're a unicorn, and I'm just a dragon.
Spike,
I'll let you get back to your packing. I'm sorry to bother you.
He opened the door and started to head out. Rarity watched with a concerned look as she watched the young dragon leave. Before he closed the door, Rarity heard him say to himself,
I never should have fooled myself.
Spike's tail dragged as he walked back to the library. His thoughts were consumed with his disappointment. He was going to pour out his soul to the mare of his dreams, and she rejected him before he even told her. As he opened the door to the treehouse, he saw his caretaker, Twilight Sparkle, pacing in the main room of the library. Spike noticed she looked upset.
Hey, Twilight. What's wrong?
It's not a big deal. I promised to go to the spa with Fluttershy today. She normally goes with Rarity on this day of the week, but she's going out of town today.
So, what's the problem? It's not like Fluttershy wouldn't mind missing the spa date.
Yes, but they had already made reservations. She doesn't want them to go to waste, so I volunteered to go with her. The problem is that I was going to deliver this amulet to Sakura.
As she spoke, she levitated a necklace that looked like a watch.
I've just received this from Canterlot University, and Sakura wanted to take a look at it.
What does it do? It looks like a stopwatch to me.
That's because it is. This watch has been enchanted with time spells. Supposedly it has the ability to allow you to return back to a certain point in time.
You mean you can travel back in time?
Spike asked, with an idea forming in his head. He could travel back in time to prevent himself from embarrassing himself in front of Rarity.
Not quite. You see, you press the button, and that sets the return point. You press it again, and you return to that point. But the spell is limited. The spell only allows for about 2 weeks' worth of time travel.
Oh, that's cool.
He half-heartedly replied, his new idea deflated.
I was going to lend it to Sakura, but I don't want to be late. I guess I could always deliver it after going to the spa.
I'll deliver it for you. After all, I am your #1 assistant.
Are you sure? I mean, she does live in the Everfree Forest.
It's fine. She doesn't live that far away. I'll be careful.
Well then, if you say so.
She passed the amulet to Spike and gave him a hug.
Just be careful. There's a lot of dangerous creatures in there.
I'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Timberwolves. That's what could happen. Spike was walking down the path to Sakura's hut, playing his pan flute in an attempt to cheer himself up. Despite his efforts, it wasn't helping. What it did was attract a pack of the enchanted wooden canines to him.
Ah!
The wolves had surrounded him on the trail, and he ran into the forest since the trail was blocked by the predators. Spike could smell the foul breath of the creatures as they closed in on him. He looked over his shoulder to see how far away his pursuers were, but he should have remained looking forward. If he had, he would have seen the hole in the ground. Spike fell down the hole, and the Timberwolves stopped at the edge, snarling in anger that their quarry had escaped. Spike bounced against the walls of the hole as he fell down the winding tunnel. The tunnel finally ended, and Spike found himself falling into something worse. Much worse. Now, he was heading down an abyss. He screamed in terror as he fell into the bottomless cavern. As he fell, he saw a light coming from the darkness. The multicolored light was spiraling up to meet him. Spike shielded his eyes from the blinding light as it enveloped him. When he opened his eyes again, he wasn't falling anymore. In fact, he was sitting on the floor of a cave. He wondered how he could be in one piece after a fall like that. He quickly noticed the dark figure that was standing before him. His heart nearly stopped as he recognized the figure as Nightmare Moon. The black alicorn glared down at the frightened dragon. Spike noticed that her helmet covered her entire face like a mask, and it had two mismatched, glowing yellow eyes.
You! How many times must I kill you?
What?
Before he could ask what was going on, the alicorn's horn glowed with magic, and Spike felt a strange power take hold of him. It was pure agony, and he was paralyzed by the pain. His bones twisted and shifted. His scales felt like they were burning. His claws and feet felt like they were getting crushed. A splitting headache developed as he felt something grow out of his forehead. Finally, the curse was complete, and Spike collapsed. He could hear the dark mare laugh as he gasped. He noticed that her laugh sounded strange, and yet familiar. Even though it was her voice, the laugh sounded like it belonged to someone else. There! Try that one on for size. That'll teach you to meddle in my business.
What? What did you do to me?
See for yourself, she gloated as she pointed to a pool of water. Spike crawled to the pool and yelled in alarm when he saw his reflection.
Ah!
A purple unicorn coat with a green, spiky mane stared back up at him. The only thing that remained the same was his eyes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must find a more secure lair. I can't have one where dragons, or should I say unicorns, can walk in uninvited. She turned to leave, but she stopped. I think that I'll take this with me.
Hey!
Spike shouted as he saw the mare with a starry mane levitating his flute beside her. This will serve as a nice little reminder of the time we shared together, she mocked as she transformed into a swirling cloud of indigo magic. Spike gathered his strength and followed the cloud as it whisked away down a tunnel. Normally, Spike could walk either in a bipedal or a quadrupedal stance as a dragon, but his new unicorn form forced him to walk on all fours. It felt odd to him to walk on hooves. As he did his best to make his way through the caverns, he noticed a strange tree in one of them. He stopped to observe it. It seemed to be shaped to resemble some bean. Its branches stuck out like hands, and the hollows seemed to form a face. The mouth was formed into a scream, and the eyes were squinted. The face on the tree looked like it was frozen in anguish and despair. It looks all dark and gloomy, almost like it could start crying any second now. Spike decided to move on and continue down the path. Soon, he heard a sound. It sounded like churning water and gears. Spike found himself in a room filled with cogs. He looked around and saw stairs that led up to a set of double doors. Spike headed up the stairs, but then he heard a chuckle coming from behind him.
You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
Ah!
Spike jumped in alarm, but he saw a pony emerge from the shadows. The earth pony wore glasses, a strange cap, and styled his mane in a braid.
Who are you?
I'm a traveling merchant. I deal with mystical and strange artifacts. However, it would seem like you are not from around here.
I was chased by some timber wolves and I fell down a hole. There was a bottomless pit, a bright light, and then I was here.
Where do you come from?
I live in Ponyville in the Kingdom of Equestria.
I am not familiar with those places, and from your explanation, I would guess that you somehow stumbled upon a portal to this world.
What is this place anyways?
You are now underneath Clock Town in the land of Trottina.
Do you know where Nightmare Moon went? She has my flute and she changed me into a unicorn.
You know of Nightmare Moon? Is she in Equestria too?
Well, kinda. She was changed back into Princess Luna at the Summer Sun celebration by the Elements of Harmony.
How strange. It would seem that your world is quite different from mine.
What do you mean?
In Trottina, Princess Luna became Nightmare Moon 1,000 years ago and was banished by Princess Celestia to the moon. But she has escaped recently. The Elements of Harmony haven't been seen in a long time.
No elements, no Luna.
Precisely. Now, she has stolen a powerful mask from me. If you can get it back for me, and your flute, I can help you return to your actual shape.
Really? You got a deal! Wait a second. She could easily clobber me. How do I get them back?
You'll have to use your brain.
The merchant shrugged.
But you'll have to hurry. In 3 days. Let's just say I have to leave in 3 days.
Well, okay.
Spike then turned towards the doors and called back as he headed out.
Wish me luck!
Good luck. You're going to need it.
Oh, jeez, I feel like Owen Wilson in Free Birds. Like, half of these lines are just screaming in pain and or fear. My vocal cords are gonna be dead after this, I swear.
That's because it is. This watch has been enchanted with time spells. Supposedly, it has the ability to allow you to return back to a certain point in time. Don't we learn anything? Time travel always has consequences, as we know from the Season 5 finale. Oh well.
You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
No, it is recording. I just decided it was a bad take, and then I got mad at myself for a millisecond.
Precisely. What an awful word. Precisely.
Awful word. No, leave my mouth. That was bad. I need a drink.
Yeah, Ruby.
Oh, Rarity. You hopeless romantic, you. Oh, I can relate to that. Especially with my hun bun. In the future. Anyway. As she spoke, she levitated a necklace that looked like a wallet. A wallet? Apparently I can't read tonight. I can't read. God. Let me try that again.